Dear Professor Pincushion, I'm just getting back into sewing again after a decade-long break. I love to sew, but now I'm remembering why I stopped. I get lots of friends and family asking me to sew things for them, but I hardly have time to sew for myself, let alone others. Does this happen to you? Fabric Stash Queen. Dear Fabric Stash Queen, yes, sewing favors one of the pitfalls that us sewers have to sometimes face. How quickly it goes from, oh this, yes I made it, and yes I do so, to, me sew? It's not that we're not proud of the things we create, it's just that sewing's more like a friend that we sometimes pretend we don't know. Hey, sewing! I know we're best buds and all, but do you think you can walk 5 feet behind me so nobody knows we're together? Thanks! For those of you just starting out sewing, this may all sound very weird and confusing, but there comes a point in every sewer's life where you wish you could go back to the time when you were an anonymous sewer, or what I like to call the secret sewing agent. You want to sew, but you also don't want people to know that you sew. It's a very delicate tightrope to walk. This is sometimes how it could end up.
Oh, you know how to sew?
Yes?
I actually have some jeans that need to be altered. Wait, where'd she go?
Phew, they're gone. Look, I don't want to be this way because I love helping people too, but sometimes it gets to be a little bit much, especially if the person asking the favor knows nothing about sewing. Does this sound familiar? Do you think you can make me a dress? I'll totally buy supplies and everything. Nothing fancy, just something simple and quick. And you have plenty of time because I don't think I need it until about maybe next week. Wait, where'd she go? If I were to put together a word cloud of the most common words people use when asking for a sewing favor, the biggest and boldest words would be simple, quick, and easy. For someone who doesn't sew, everything is simple, quick, and easy by default just because they're not asking for an elaborate wedding dress with a 20-foot long train. But if you're anything like me, it's really hard to say no. So when you want to say no, but you don't actually want to say no, you have two options. First, donning your secret sewing agent disguise, or two, getting them to change their mind about asking you and you still get to look like the friendly neighborhood sewer. I would be happy to hem your pants. Unfortunately, my sewing machine doesn't do well sewing denim, but I get to practice my hand sewing. Look, I'm getting better. You can hardly see my stitches. I only sew for cats. You want me to make you a dress? I feel so honored. Just have to tell you, I don't do zippers or buttons or like really any kind of fastener. I feel like it ruins the integrity of the gown. You understand. This is one of my creations, one of a kind. Also, I don't like to determine a person's size through a tape measure. Instead, I want to feel what your size is through a hug. Come here. Any of these ideas can definitely work, unless you have a YouTube sewing channel, in which case I'd go with a fun disguise.
Hey, I got the jeans. Where'd you go?
This Dear Professor Pincushion has been brought to you by our patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, click on the button below.